Well, it's been about a week since I've been out in the shop. I've been traveling a bit. Went out to South Carolina to find a new home for Garage Tune and my family. Been a little bit lazy after my success last week, kind of relaxing a little bit. But that laziness has worn on me, and now I'm back out here ready to make progress on the next steps. Now, I've been kind of dreading this part because Weston and I spent I don't know how long trying to beat that exhaust header into submission so that the steering shaft would fit through it and not grind. The U-joint on the steering shaft that connects into the steering column would scrape against the actual header. As we beat the crap out of it, it took us a long time. You can see that in the video, a number of videos ago. And it finally fit without scraping, and now I've lowered the subframe by 1 inch. So, there's a few things that I might have to deal with. First is the scraping. Second, it might not even reach now. I mean, it's at an angle, so it's not like it has to actually extend an additional 1 inch down, but it's still got to extend more than it was before, so it might not reach. If it doesn't, I've got a couple solutions for that, but it's just a problem that might exist. There's just a bunch of things. So I'm not excited about this. I've been procrastinating. But on the flip side, this is the last major thing that I have to do before this car will be capable of driving. I mean, yes, there's brakes and clutch and all that, but unless there's some weird catastrophic failure, which there might be, those two things shouldn't be that big of a deal. I make some hard lines, I bleed the brakes, bleed the clutch, torque down suspension, align the car, it drives. I just don't want to take this stupid header off again for the 97th time. But procrastinating and thinking about it and doing nothing aren't going to get me any closer to actually driving the car. So let's do something. So we're going to start this journey here on my little welding table. Before I can get the whole steering stuff reassembled, I need the brake stuff reassembled because it's a pain to get that brake pedal on and off. It might even be impossible, I'm not sure, with the steering shaft installed. So I picked up a brake master cylinder, 5/8, and a pressure plate block-off kit that fits the 240. And I'm gonna fit this guy to that guy and get it installed. First, I wanna make sure it fits in the car correctly. Let's do that. All the holes seem to line up, so you gotta make sure. So now, let's figure this guy out. These holes are chamfered in different directions, obviously, because this bolts, screws, whatever have to go in a certain way. So I'm gonna assume that it looks like this big rubber seal thing here isn't gonna work with the thing on. Let me take this off quick. I'm gonna assume that I've got to put this guy on first before I install it in the car. Got that big rubber band. Will it fit now? Not really. Okay. I don't want to tear the seal here, so I'll take the seal off carefully. Carefully. It's so easy to do and fun. I'm having a wonderful time. All right, now, from the front here, that fits well. And they supplied me with a whole mess of bolts and bits. In fact, it looks like both kits come with a bunch of bolts. Here's the clevis pin. Okay, well this has the right quantity of bolts, so I'm gonna assume that the two fatties in here with their associated nuts attach the brake master. So that would go like so. And that doesn't fit at all, which is not my favorite thing. What is your deal? So these are the bolts that came with it. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. What's less good though is that they don't appear to fit through the brake master. Now, in addition to those, I've also got these two. These two look a little smaller. They come with a pair of nylocks. I can't imagine that's for the, is it for the clevis? No, the clevis pin screws on that way. And then, no. Okay, well, these do fit, so let's try that. Let's try it the correct way and not be stupid. How about that? Grab the appropriate sized wrench. So just because, I assume, they went with 1/2 inch. Now I, for whatever reason, thought that GK Tech was more of an import type company, but I could be wrong. And now perhaps a wrench. Both of those snug down. Now I'm not super excited about how close this fitting is to this guy. It's gonna clear, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. Okay, so we've got that, and that leaves us with these 4 that I now must assume are supposed to go through and into the cabin. Let's wiggle this guy down into place again. That's good. Pull you down. The big rubber band, yeah, that'll fit just fine. That moves. Senior clevis pin. No reason to not put this on that I can think of right now, but I may find out. Oh, that said, I bet this is a locking nut that has to go on first. Okay, something like that. Now what? I don't know. I'm just kind of making this up as I go. Got these two. This is my clutch bleed line. This is the clutch, I don't know what you call that, the line that goes to the actual. There's still a gaskety thing here. I don't think it's a big deal if I just let it ride. Let me get some tape a second, tape that guy on there so it doesn't flop around like a dead fish. This is working great. This is going exactly like I planned. Let's have a peek inside. This is the situation I've got in here. I've got this guy poking through, and my brake pedal is over there. Good. You know, I think I see why my brake lights were always on, by the way. There's supposed to be a little stopper right here that depresses the brake switch when it's in, and it's not there. Interesting. Okay, so down here we have, this is the clip for the old clevis pin. Let me see if it fits. New one. It does, good. Oh, okay. I remember now I had to take the steering wheel out to get to this, so let's do that. The poking device. Ow. And this is going into the black, white. Black, white. All right. This guy should slide out without much drama. I said without much drama, not with all the drama. Maybe it's easier without the thing in the way. It is difficult to see down here, but there is just no room to get it there. Obviously I got it off, but man, there's no easy way to get it back on. What a pain. I remember it was a pain taking off, so. So, whatever. Figured out, this is the little pad that's supposed to go on the brake pedal there. I mean, I can just use a bolt, but interesting. After many trials and much tribulation, I managed to get the pedal back in. There's a little weird kind of catch there, and it might just be the black boot back there I need to fiddle with, but I got it back in, and I added a little bolt here to press against the brake switch when it's fully depressed. So hopefully that solves my issues with the taillights always being on. There's also no pad here for the clutch switch. That doesn't matter because that was disconnected long ago, but also concerning. Anyway, this is more or less as on as it's getting now. I can move on to the steering shaft after my spine is no longer in the shape of a question mark. I got the steering column more or less back into place, and let me show you what I got here. So right now, my U-joint is as far down as it can go. It's got like a 1/2 inch to slide up here, but this is as far down as it goes. And as you can see, the little collar where this bolt goes through here and locks to the steering column is maybe, I don't know, 1/4 inch more down. And I can't get it any further down. So I've got a couple of options. GK Tech makes an extender that you bolt on the end of here, and that is 35 millimeters longer. But I only have to move this maybe 10 millimeters. So I feel like that's going to be way too big. They also make something that bolts on up top there to extend that little rubber joint, 25 millimeters, which is about 1 inch. Annoyingly, that also seems like it's too long, but I don't think I've got many more options. There's other companies that make extended or different size U-joints, but I haven't found one that has the right splines on both sides. So it's really just kind of a losing battle. That said, I'm glad that I at least got out here and figured this out. I think what I'm gonna do tonight is order both of those extenders and hope that one will work. I mean, honestly, if the one that bolts on here fits, it would push this down more and get it more out of the way of the headers, which would be awesome. Actually, I think that they'd both do that in the end. So I don't know. Whatever, I'll order both and we'll see, but at least progress was made. Earlier today, I swung by the local hardware store and I picked up, it's a terrible angle, shows off my 900 chins, and I picked up some bolts to attach the drive shaft. Now, roll over everything down here. That was a great idea, but annoyingly, the bolt heads barely contact this little, I don't know, yoke back here. So I gotta take them off and grind down like a 1/16 of an inch off of one side of each of these bolts. Now, the bolts themselves are 16 millimeter, but the nuts are 17, so the bolts are smaller. For any who are curious, these are M10 by 35 millimeter, grade 10.9. I'm gonna take these off and start grinding down one face of each of these. Now, let's go down below and see if these fit any better. Hopefully I don't immediately grab the last one that I was grinding and burn the crap out of my hand. I mean, it's on there now. That's pretty cool. Drive shaft attached. Let's go topside and see what I can do. Oh, I forgot all that crap inside, dang it. Oh, that might be a tomorrow night thing. So I ordered all the stuff for the hard lines, but it's sitting in my office, so that might be a weekend thing. But hey, we did this. I'm gonna move all this crap out, tidy up the garage a bit, then get ready for tomorrow. Garage tidied up a bit. I'm gonna go back inside tomorrow or Saturday. I will start work on the hard lines. It looks like I might be able to bend the original hard lines into a position where I could use them. I need one to go from the brake master to my little four-way splitter here. Two will go to the front two, and the last one will go to this portioning valve that then goes to the back two. So I might be able to arrange, I got spiders in my head. I might be able to arrange things using the existing hard lines to do that. If not, I bought enough hard line to remake those. I have bent them a couple times, so I want to make sure they're not work hardened, so they don't snap on me. That would be good. Anyway, until tomorrow. Today is now Monday. Weston was kind enough to come up on Sunday and help me out for a bit. And we got some decent progress in. Weston torqued down all the front suspension bits, which was very helpful, while I fiddled with getting the hard line made for my clutch slave cylinder to go to the soft line here. And that worked out well. Except for the fact that my 5/8 slave cylinder, or sorry, master cylinder here, was not adequate enough to fully disengage the clutch. Clutch disc? Whatever. I did some Googling and I found out that the manufacturer recommends a 3/4 inch master cylinder for the clutch. So I ordered one. It'll be here later this week. Weston was also kind enough to introduce me to flare nut wrenches, which I didn't know existed, which is annoying being such a tool person as I am of wanting to own every tool. I can't believe I didn't know that flare nut wrenches were a thing. So now I have some. Thanks, Menards. While I wait for the other stuff to come, my 2 steering column extendy thingamajigger options have arrived. This one goes in the very bottom and is an extra 30 millimeters. It says 40, but I guess on the description it said 30 millimeters. And this one here goes up top where the upper shaft interfaces with the lower shaft, and this is supposed to be 25 millimeters. This one would be easier to put on, so I'm going to give this one a try, but I do not think I need this much length, and I'm pretty sure that'll just give me problems. So I'll try this quick, and if this doesn't work, I'll pull the shaft or the whole steering column out again and try this one. Well, it turns out this one was just too long, and I thought it would be. It was too long by a fair amount. It makes me a little bit worried about this one, but we'll give this a try. The slightly annoying thing is that I need to take the steering column out again. However, I'm getting fairly practiced at it by this point, so whatever. I'll rip that out, slap this on, show you guys what it looks like. We'll see if that's any better. Here is the difference in thickness of these two. So you're gaining about, I don't know, 15, 20 millimeters there maybe. This one is rubber, and so it gives you a bit more isolation, while this one's solid. So there'll probably be a bit of a difference in feel, but we'll give it a try. All right, there we go. I got the little spacer on there. It was a pain. I don't know if the factory worker where the 240s were assembled was mad that day, but both of these, so both studs and nuts on both sides were just in horrible condition. So I had to tap and die them both to get them to actually thread on again. I will now slide it back into its hole, finger tighten the screws to keep it in place, and we'll see if that will do it or not. This is huge. So this is back on, and not only is it back on, but it pushed the U-joint down far enough to where it clears the headers, and that is awesome. So one more major hurdle, I don't know, completed, bypassed, jumped in the process of getting this thing back on the road. It steers now. That's awesome. I do have some weird issue where I'm getting a little bit of oil buildup on these back screws. I think it's coming from this side over here. So maybe this has to be tightened down. Maybe one of these guys is leaking, I'm not sure. And after running it with the drive shaft in place of the day, I had a little puddle of transmission fluid underneath the drive shaft seal there. So that may need to be replaced. It seemed okay, but who knows? If that's the case, it's not a big deal, you know, whatever. It's easy to get to, so I don't care. Oh, that's too many chins. that's just, I'm really excited about it. It's another major hurdle cleared here, so that's great. What's next? Oh, right, clutch master. So that should come later this week. In the meantime, tomorrow I'll come back out and work on torquing down the rear suspension bits. The car desperately needs an alignment, and I really have to set ride height and all that stuff, but that'll all happen once this is on the floor. I mean, look at this. So like, this is like the steering rack boots. These are just thrashed, so it needs a lot of little things like that. Things that are important, but certainly not hard to do compared to the rest of this stuff. So again, my main driving force is let me get it so I can take it around the block. Even if it's idling around the block, I don't care. I just want to get it so it idles around the block, and then I can start hammering out some of these smaller things. All right, done tonight. Come back out tomorrow. It is the next day, as it was foretold to you 4 seconds ago. And my plan for tonight is to get to work on the brake hard lines. I still have all 3 of the brake hard lines in the car. I haven't removed them. Let me take you down and show you. I have one brake hard line. I don't know which is which, but I have one that is the front passenger side brake. I have one that goes to a splitter in the back, and then I have one here that is the front driver's side brake. Here, in my brake bin, I have a 4-way splitter that will go to the front right, the front left, and then the brake master and this proportioning valve here. The question I need to answer before that happens is, where do all these things go? One of these 2, I can't remember which one, but I'll figure it out, needs to go directly into the proportioning valve. And then from the proportioning valve into the splitter. The other one needs to go into the splitter. Now, it looks like I could probably mount the splitter somewhere over here, and all these things would reach. The splitter appears to mount via a single hole here. So perhaps something like this, if I can get it low enough, would work. I don't know, or even like this, perhaps. I don't know. So I'll figure out where to mount this, and if I can, I'll try and do it in a way that permits me to reuse these lines. Now, these appear to be bubble flare from the look of things. Maybe double flare. I'll figure that out. Now the challenging part is going to be flaring these, cutting and flaring these lines, because the flaring tool that I have mounts to my vise. And so it's very likely I'm going to have to remove these lines entirely to flare them. Which will be, I don't know, a medium pain in the butt, it looks like. Not a huge pain in the butt, but at least a medium pain in the butt. So that is something else I'm going to have to figure out. Anyway, that's what I'm going to start working on. I will take you down and show you the process once I've got a plan. I began making the brake lines, and I ran into so many issues. So the first one that I made goes from the brake booster, which is hold on, I want to get the right thing for you here. I want to say it's this 3/8 24, to the M10 of the Union, the four-way Union. Well, the 3/8/24 flare nut isn't long enough. Like, it's kind of a stumpy little baby. It's not long enough to fully press the bubble flare down into the brake booster. So that was frustrating. And on the other side, the Union seems to be expecting larger brake lines than the 3/16. So just all of the brake work tonight came to an unfortunate stop. I did test that the brake proportioning valve works fine with the M10 by 1.0 and the 3/16 inch line. That was fine, so we at least know that works. I couldn't find any other four-way Unions, so I bought 2 3-way Unions, which I'm not a fan of. More Unions, more points of failure. The braking system, that's not great, but it is what it is. I bought 2 3-way Unions, so that's gonna make up what I need to make the brakes work. They'll be here whenever Amazon gets them here, the next couple days or whatever. And just so that I could accomplish something tonight, I came around back here and I pulled my headlights off, I pulled my tail lights off, and they came with a butyl tape to go around the openings. So I put the butyl tape on and got that all sealed up. When I originally put the tail lights on, I had to do so in a hurry. So if you look at the first videos in this series, you'll see we're in a different garage entirely. It's the same property though. And maybe 2 years ago now, I built this garage. Well, I hired the company to build this garage in the middle of winter because I wanted to get on the list right away for when the snow melted. And they said, yeah, we're gonna call you when the ground's thawed. You'll be one of our first customers in the spring. Fantastic. Well, one day my phone rings and it's the demo guy and he says, hey, I'm gonna be there tomorrow to demo your garage. And I said, I still have like everything in it. Can we postpone for a week? And he said, sure, I can come next week. That's fine. I'll do somebody else before you. I said, great. So in a hurry, you'll see me in those other videos, I was just trying to get the car so it would roll and parts out of boxes on the car so that I had room to put everything. So I just threw the taillights on. I haphazardly put the brake calipers on, the 5-lug conversion. I just threw it all on so it was on and the car would roll onto my trailer. Now, I'm going back and kind of correcting all that and actually finishing those projects. So torquing down the front suspension that Weston did on Sunday, getting all that crap torqued down, that's all from like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So we're making progress and I wanted to at least complete something today. So now in the mail, I've got the Slave Master and I've got the longer 3/8/24 flare nuts and 2 3-way Unions. So when they all come, I'll start working on that. In the meantime, I guess I can work tomorrow on torquing down the stuff in the rear and then getting all the connections from the brake soft lines to the brake calipers to kind of prepare that. So that way, when I get the hard lines done, I can begin bleeding the brakes right away. So I've got more work I can do the next couple days in preparation for that stuff to come. It's always something. It's always something. Either way, I'm a couple hours closer to driving the car. I'll check back with you guys tomorrow. Well, it is now Sunday. I think 3 days since I was last in the garage. And I received some gifts from myself. I picked up, oh, I got a lot of crap in here. I picked up a clutch master cylinder from Flux, 3/4 inch. I got the adapter plate to adapt it to the 240. I got some longer, let's see, those guys are considerably longer, flare nuts. I believe this is what I need for the clutch and brake masters, because these shorter ones, this size, do not work. Let me show you the difference in size here a second. So we've got, you can see, considerable difference in length. Okay. So, I'm gonna get those going. I also picked up 2 of these guys, these 3-way splitters. Not what I wanted to do. Whew. Sorry. Ugh. I know splitters are not the best, but sometimes it just is what it is. So, my plan is to go from the Brake Master to a 3-way splitter, so that uses up 1 port. And then out of one of the other ports, I will go to the brake proportioning valve, and then from the valve to the rear, so that's the rear brakes. From the other port, I go down into the second splitter, which takes up a port, and then I have front driver and front passenger side. So that should take care of that. I'm still not sure if the Brake Master that I bought is the right size, and unfortunately I'm not really gonna know until I try it. But even if it's the wrong size, the same company makes bigger ones, and it uses the same fittings and everything. So it's just a matter of swapping it out if I need a bigger one. Anyway, let's get started in making the new clutch hardline and getting the new clutch master. Old clutch master removed, and it's honestly pretty simple. It's just these 2 12 mm bolts here, and then you pop the clevis pin off on the inside. So that's super quick. Now, because Nissan kind of had these offset bolts, GK Tech makes this kit to correct it. Well, not correct it, but modify it so that, there we go, the bolts come out vertical for the new one. I'm gonna go ahead and get that on. I can try and clamp you guys over here so you can see. Let's see how that works. So they include the plate, clevis pin, well, clevis, I guess, and then 2 nuts, washers, and bolts that match up with the countersunk areas on the actual plate here. So I'm guessing the idea is we attach the master to the plate first, and then we attach the plate and master to the chassis. For my master, I went with a flux unit from GK Tech. It's the same as my Brake Master. I mean, a master cylinder is a master cylinder. It is what it is. There's no real distinction between Brake Master and Clutch Master, blah, 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 blah. So, let me set these down precariously in my pocket. Before I can get the plate on, I've got to remove this rubber band here. I've got these big, thick rubber band type things on these. You slide on now, let's see. No, in fact, I'm going to take the whole boot off. The boot and the rubber band. Let's get them both off here a second. I'm going to very carefully use my screwdriver here to kind of pry around it. Now, push this guy on the correct way, and with our countersunk bolts, which are buried in my pocket now. Bolts on, washer, washer. I'm gonna grab my blue Loctite because why not? And then, you guys 12s. Okay, so I've got my H5 hex and 1/2 inch, and I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this guy down. this is all one piece now. It's great. Let's get our boot rubber band back on. It's just gonna go on oh so smoothly, as things like these always do. Boot rubber band are on. We'll throw the clevis on. Oh, actually, almost forgot. The nut is a locking nut that goes behind the clevis to lock it in place. Do that. Do this. Okay. Get that kind of vaguely facing the right direction. And then we will feed it back through, and it's gonna fit with no issues, right? Right. Actually it does. Okay, great. I'm gonna go into the car now, and I'm gonna try and align the clevis with the clutch pedal, so it's kind of in the right spot. I mean, honestly, that all went on really smoothly. I kind of guesstimated the length just right, so I didn't have to fight it on the inside, and yeah. So my next task is to make the hard line that now goes from here to my soft line here. And you know, it seems like it'd be easy, but every hard line I've made so far has been a huge pain. So I'll make that, and I'll get back with you. The clutch master's on, it's plumbed up, it's not leaking. I had to tighten it down to 1 billion to make it not leak, and I'm pretty sure I ran out of threads. I think it was cutting its own threads when it got to the bottom. That said, it is not leaking, so that's good. However, it is also not clutching. This right here, so it's not touching the headers, there we go. It's also not disengaging the clutch fully. So, it could be a bleeding issue. I can feel it moving the clutch, it's just not enough. Could be a bleeding issue. Everywhere that I can find recommends a 3/4 inch brake or clutch master, and that's what I'm running, so it should be the right size. It might be a bit of a throw issue, but I don't think it's that. I mean, even if it's a bit of a throw issue, it should still go into gear. It might just grind a little bit, but if I have the drive shaft stopped, if I have my e-brake on, I can't get it into gear at all when the engine's running. So I have to believe it's not pushing the clutch slave far enough. So, I'm gonna take up the little bit of slack that I have in my clutch pedal by lengthening the rod, if you will. Essentially unscrewing the clevis pin. It's not gonna be much, but it'll be properly set. It's gonna remove a little bit of the dead pedal area. And then I will work harder at bleeding the clutch, I guess. I can't think of anything else. Just gotta bleed it better. If for some reason that still doesn't work, I could get this is a 3/4, I can get a 7/8 inch master. And then hang on to the 3/4 inch just in case I need that for my brakes. I don't know. I will think about it while I begin assembling the brake stuff. Keep making progress. I've got you guys haphazardly resting here, just laying down on the windshield. I'm gonna pump the clutch a bit, and I'm not gonna be able to see if any air bubbles come up, but maybe you guys can. I adjusted the clutch pedal pretty much as snug as I can, taking up all the slack. So, I don't know. It's as good as it can get on the pedal itself now. It's also nice to know that I can adjust the clutch pedal without having to pull everything apart. That's nice. Lots of pumping. I was hoping that if there is an air bubble, it might work its way up. You never know. Put the cap back on. We'll start the car one more time. See if it'll disengage the clutch, and if not, then I'll just assume that I need to bleed it next time Weston is up, and he and I can have a go at it, and that's fine. It sure does start nicely. Okay, e-brake is down. See the rear wheels moving. That's not that abnormal. We'll pull the e-brake up. Rear wheel stops. And can I get it in gear? Clutch is all the way down. Nope. In fact, anytime I try, you can see it trying to turn that wheel. Okay. All right. I will bleed it when Weston's up here next with him, and we'll see if there's any change. It does feel good when I'm pressing the clutch pedal. It feels good. It feels very clutch-like. Just not happening. All right. All right. The fun continues. I do appreciate that I can adjust that clutch pedal preload, if you will, without having to take it out, the master out, so that's nice. I'm gonna snug that back down, and then, like I said a second ago, I'll get started on the brakes. I just wanted to give it one more try. I went inside, had some lunch, gave me some time to ponder how I want to do this. Here's my plan. And I'll explain it briefly. It's not going to make much sense, but I'm going to come out of the Brake Master, from the top of the Brake Master to the top of this guy here. From the side port, I'm going to go around the Brake Master to the side, where it's going to connect with the brake proportioning valve, and from there it'll go up and out to the rear. And from the bottom of this one, I'm going to come down to this guy, where it'll connect with the front driver and passenger side. It seems like it'd be easy. Let's see how I can execute it, or how well I can execute it. I can't even execute that sentence right. I want to show you guys what I've been working on. I am not by any means good at this, but it's turning out better than I thought it would. So, take you over here. I have my line that goes from my Brake Master to my three-way splitter, over to my brake bias controller, to the rear brakes, which come across the firewall there, and then down to this connector here, which then goes out to the back. And I did that one by, where'd it go here? Somewhere, there we go. By more or less just kind of holding it up to this, the stock one, and copying it. And you're like, well, duh. But it's tricky. It's a little bit tricky. However, I think it turned out awesome. So, I also put in a couple little line holder, line hanger things to keep them from flapping around. So now I have to do, well, I've got to come down from here to the splitter that will do the front, right, and left. So I guess that's just going to be a stumpy little one, which in theory shouldn't be hard. I'm sure I'll find a way to make it hard, but I'll do that one next. With a wonderful stroke of luck, I was able to reuse the stock driver's side brake line here. So I just bent it to go into my, can I angle you a little? There we go. To go into my T. So that's probably where I'm going to stop for today, Sunday. I want to relax a little bit with the rest of my weekend. There we go. Tomorrow after work, I will come out and I will try my best at duplicating the passenger side brake line. Honestly, while it was technical, doing the driver's side or the rear one wasn't that bad. So hopefully this one is also not that bad. We'll find out tomorrow. I'm having clean fingers from the camera off. It is Monday, and my goal today is twofold. One, to finish the passenger side brake line, and two, to plug in the jumpers that I got for the Koki taillights. So let's handle that one first. It'll take 10 seconds, and then I'll get started on the passenger side brake line. If I can finish those two things today, fantastic. I want to wrap up those hard lines before I get this video out, and it's been kind of a long time in the making. Let's get started. All right, so I have this lovely pack of jumpers that were a whole 20 bucks on eBay. Let's see if they're the right size. Okay, why don't we test that out? Put you guys right here. You can see I can't. I'm gonna plug the battery in with the brakes. Ooh, I see them lighting up. I can't see them from here, but I hope they look cool. I'll have to see them in the video with you guys. Nice. I hope that looked cool. I love these taillights. The Koki taillights are just some of the most beautiful of any car, in my opinion. Awesome. All right, now to get to work on the driver's side. Yes, like this, I think. Driver's side, shim sham. Brake, shim sham. All right. I mean, I guess unless I can reuse this one, let me see here. I don't know, it's gonna be close. Maybe. Well, let me fiddle with it here a second. I might be able to use this thing. And if so, that would save some time and effort, but I've got to make sure that I can get it in the right shape so it doesn't get all jacked up in the process. Because, you know, brakes are moderately important on cars. It's also good that I wore another white shirt today. Okay, nope, just gonna make a new one. I'm gonna make a new one. I'm gonna start with this as my template. So, first things first, I need a bunch of new, this is gonna look better too. I don't like this one as much as the other one. I think this side looks good. Comes down, joins up with that really well. It's great, coming across here. Over here the lines get a little bit tight. I'm probably gonna do the old zip tie trick with one around the outside, one in the middle, all the way down, keep it from rattling. Down here things kind of fell apart. I don't know how things fell apart so much. It's not bad, but it's also not great. So I'll test it out. If it works, great, I'll send it. If it doesn't, I'll redo it. I think I'm done for the night. My finger hurts, and I want to punch the car. But that's working on cars, I guess. I would like to scream expletives, but sometimes my children watch my videos. And so I have to be a Mr. Rogers-esque good example. Anyway, despite me being mad at myself for slipping and hitting myself in the finger, I'm pleased that I made progress. I'm happy that the car is one step closer to being drivable. So I couldn't leave it where it was. I didn't like how that brake line turned out. So next night I came back out tonight and I remade it. I like this one a lot better. It would be easier if my brake line bending tool had a tighter radius, and I've got one in my Amazon cart right now, but I'm trying to save money so I haven't bought it. But either way, I think this worked out well. So let me show you what I got here. So this looks much better on this side, right? Just kind of up and then a 90-degree in. Much better. And then it comes out here, goes around alongside the rear one, which is this guy that we made. Kind of comes up the inside of it here and on the bottom of it over here. And that clears my fuel lines. Then from over here, it comes down to the driver's side where it goes into this bottom three-way. And that completes all the hard lines for the brakes, as well as for the clutch. So I can tighten those down, tighten down the soft lines if I can find all my banjo bolts and stuff. I think I've got them somewhere. Ugh, I don't know, I'll look. But tighten out all the banjo bolts, and then it's ready to add fluid and bleed. It's kind of cool. Anyway, back to my wrap up. I'm gonna end this video here. In the next one, we're gonna pick up and I will begin bleeding the brakes, more thoroughly bleed the clutch. I've got a couple more pieces coming. I've got one more thing in the box, two more things in the box here. So all that will come with the next one. And hopefully after that one, it'll just be torquing down the rear. And if all goes well, it should be drivable. Stick around for that. I really thank you guys for following along and hanging out with me. Even if you bang up your thumb, try and get out in your garage and make a couple hours of progress on your project this week. I promise you will not regret it. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.